Have you ever been blamed for something just because you were born? My parents never said it out loud, but their eyes told me every day I was the reason we were poor. Mom was in nursing school when she got pregnant with me. The day she found out, she threw up in the hospital bathroom where she was doing her clinical rounds. She kept her textbooks thinking she'd go back after I was born. Those books sat on our kitchen counter for years, collecting sticky fingerprints and coffee rings. Sometimes I'd catch her flipping through them late at night, mouthing the medical terms to herself while I was supposed to be asleep. Dad worked at the gas station down the street. On winter mornings, I could smell the gasoline on his uniform when he kissed me goodbye. His hands were always cracked and red from the cold. Just one more year, they'd whisper to each other when they thought I couldn't hear. We'll get ahead next year, but next year never came. When I was 7, I found my baby book hidden under their bed. Inside was Mom's acceptance letter to medical school and a sonogram with my name scribbled in the corner. The date on the letter was 2 weeks after the date on the sonogram. At school, other kids got new backpacks and cool lunches. I got Dad's old gym bag and sandwiches with the crust cut off to hide the mold Mom thought I wouldn't notice. The apartment we lived in had a leak in the bathroom ceiling. Dad put a plastic dinosaur bucket under it. Look, indoor swimming pool, he joked, but his smile never reached his eyes. For my 10th birthday, they got me a bike from the thrift store. It was rusty and the seat was torn, but Dad spent all night fixing it up. It's just like new, he said, but we both knew it wasn't. That night, I heard them fighting about money again. If we hadn't had to, Dad stopped himself. Mom finished his sentence. If we hadn't had to what? Have her? The silence that followed was louder than any scream. At 12, I started babysitting for our neighbors to buy my own school supplies. Mom cried when I handed her my first $20. You shouldn't have to do this, she said, but she took the money anyway. One day after school, I found Mom's nursing books in the trash. When I pulled them out, she snapped, "Just leave them. Some dreams aren't meant to happen." I started staying late at school, joining every free program I could find. My teacher noticed and asked if everything was okay at home. "We're just going through a rough patch," I said, repeating what I'd heard Mom say on the phone 1,000 times. When I was 14, Dad lost his job. That night, he drank a whole bottle of cheap whiskey and told me how much my birth had cost them. The hospital bills, the lost opportunities, the dreams they'd given up. "You were supposed to make it all worth it," he slurred. I didn't know what that meant, but it felt like a weight I couldn't possibly carry. The next day, my teacher found me crying in the bathroom. I told her everything. She helped me apply for a scholarship program that would cover my high school expenses. When I got the acceptance letter, I was afraid to tell my parents. But when I did, something unexpected happened. Mom hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. "This is why," she whispered. "This is why we did it all." That night, I found a small box on my bed. Inside was Mom's stethoscope from nursing school and a note. "Some dreams change, but they don't die. They just get passed down." Dad started driving for a rideshare company. On weekends, I'd help him clean his car. One Saturday, he said, I never blamed you. I blamed myself for not being enough. Last month, I got accepted to college with a full scholarship." When I told them, Mom pulled out a small envelope from her dresser. Inside was $8.43, every dollar I'd ever given them from babysitting. "We saved it all," Dad said, his voice breaking. It wasn't much, but it was something. I realized then that what I'd seen as blame was really just the weight of love. Heavy, imperfect, but stubborn enough to last. Now when Mom looks at me, I don't see regret anymore. I see pride. And maybe that's worth more than all the dreams that had to change because I was born.